What's up, Tokos? This is Trent, aka TradeMark here, and I wanted to try and apply the tips that I...
Shut up!
Shut your mouth. What's up, guys? So in the background, around me right here is a video I recorded like 3 or 4 days ago, and literally right when I was done editing it and like rendering it, freaking Netmarble releases the patch notes for the new update. And everything that I talk about in this video is basically a commentary about how to play as Empire and how to counter the overpowered Rebel units, Gigaran Rebel, Cassian, etc. That's what the video is about. And so the second that the patch notes came out and they said that they're balancing all those units, they're nerfing those units, it literally became obsolete that second. So I decided to just kind of commentate over these gameplays, but the reason why I still wanted to use the gameplay is because there's a few reasons. First of all, this was on my free-to-play account. So this is Tier 5 Chromium 2-star 2500 rating, and this account has a pretty high win rate. And so usually I play against players that are higher player level than me and higher card level. So I wanted to show a few things. One is that you could win on Empire. Everyone thinks that Empire is the weaker faction. Honestly, it's not. In fact, after the balance changes, in my opinion, Empire is the stronger faction. But it is a little more difficult to learn because it's a harder concept to grasp. The Empire decks are typically. The way that they play is more of a defensive counter push strategy, whereas Rebels, it's easier catered to newer players because you just basically you kill someone, you just drop a bunch of stuff down, you just swarm the enemy. So I wanted to kind of talk about. I basically just wanted to commentate on my gameplay. I have player disadvantage, card disadvantage. I'm playing Empire, 3 strikes against me, and this is pre-patch, so this is pre-nerf. So I play a Cassian and a Sabine, both who were nerfed, using Gigaran Rebel. A bunch of overpowered stuff is going on in here, and I wanted to show also that that even if you make mistakes, because I make a lot of mistakes in these gameplays. That was actually the main, one of the main reasons I wanted to post these gameplays is because I make a lot of mistakes, but if you're able to recognize those mistakes and, take advantage of when the enemy makes mistakes, then you can win even when you're at a disadvantage. So let's go ahead and let's fast forward to the games here. I also found out, I already knew that I'm a terrible multitasker, but you'll see in this gameplay, it turns out that I'm horrible at live commentating what I'm doing, because one of two things happen. I get distracted, basically I focus on either the commentary and I start making mistakes and playing really bad, or I just stop talking and I completely focus on playing, and then I'm not helping anyone by not commentating. So two of those things happen. I end up making a lot of mistakes when I'm trying to do this. In the future, I probably won't do that anymore. Probably just going to record some good gameplays, come back and commentate on them. It's much easier for me to do that. So I want to talk to you guys, first of all, about your starting play. So many players don't understand this. Your starting play, usually you want to react to the player, to your enemy, rather than start off with something aggressive. So I don't have any good first turn plays right here. Usually you want to play a cheap, slow-moving unit all the way in the back of your base so that you can counter whatever the enemy throws at you. I have no cheap units that I can spawn in the back. I have a stun, nerve gas, and ATST. So this is a really bad starting hand for me. So I notice Cassian comes up into a vulnerable area, and what I'm going to try and do is put damage on him. So I'm going to stun. I don't really have... I do have those troopers there, so I am going to stun, and then I make a mistake right here. So if you notice right there... and then get some... I stun, and then I try to... What way am I pointing? I try and drag up from right here, this next box. next box is not an actual card slot. You'll notice that after I play the stun, the stormtroopers move into the middle slot. So I should have been dragging up from the middle. But anyways, the reason why I stun, if I would have played this correctly, stun into really troopers into attack, he takes a little bit of damage, but he probably would have taken another full bar of damage if I would have done that correctly in the correct order right there. And if you guys remember back to my first video, I talk about gaining card or energy advantage. So here's what I want to show you guys. I've just made a 4 energy play right there. Stun into stormtroopers and attack. 4 energy, he countered
so bad. I went to
Marauders, Troopers, and Pathfinders. So he does a 7 energy play in counter to my play. Now, you don't have to. I mean, eventually you might play the game enough where you can quickly calculate exactly how many energy they just spent to counter your units. But for now, you can just kind of look at, okay, he just played 3 troops versus my 2 cards. So he played 3 cards versus 2 cards. He has more energy out on the field right now. And they're all squad units. In other words, they're multiple units typically with lower health. And so how I can counter this is I have a couple options. Obviously, my sand troopers in my hand. I can sand trooper them, or I can slow them down with nerve gas and let my turret, kind of attack them as they're going in. But that is quite a few units coming in here. So if I just run back, let's say to the health, and lay a unit down, my turret's going to take a lot of damage here. So instead, I actually just stop and absorb the damage from these units. So that nerve gas was probably unnecessary. It does slow Cassian's attack down, so it might have been worth it. But I play nerve gas plus sand trooper. And I know my sand trooper is going to clear anything that's left, so I can run back and heal. And now I'm in this position right here. So I'm running back to the fight, and Cassian's in mid. He's in an exposed position where I can spawn units on him. And I know that my sand troopers are going to clear out his unit. So right here I'm going to go
that
aggressive.
Damage because I
run all the way up, snaring him so he can't move. Then I'm going to drop Bladesman to do burst damage on him. And then I have a stun that comes up. So I probably stun. Oh no, it looks like I have enough damage on him. Oh, it's because of the snare. So the snare lasts 6 seconds or something. It's pretty long. So Bladesmen are pretty much going to take care of him. And I notice a unit down here at bottom. So I go to drop Probe Droid on it. I wasn't sure what unit it was. That was probably not the greatest play, but it looks like I don't have any other unit options. Like, I can't stun that unit for it to kill it. That wouldn't kill a sniper. So the only play I have right here is to drop Probe Droid down at bottom. But I do get the kill on Cassian. And that right there is probably not a necessary
Anytime things
stormtrooper.
get really close, then I start...
I probably could have killed those 2 Marauders by myself.
So he has like a level...
but not that big of a mistake. It's only a 2 energy card. So I heal a little bit. Here's his second push. So he has his ability Pathfinders plus Pathfinders in the back. And I'm in the exact same position as I started. I have ATST, Nerve Gas, and Stun. Again... The way to counter Cassian, I always heard that Cassian was overpowered, but Cassian is a leader that has a very slow attack, and he has the lowest health out of any leader in the game. So when you play against a Cassian, you have to force him, when he's pushed up and he's in mid there, aggressing your turret or putting poke damage in on you, you have to make a choice of when you're going to aggress. And so like this is, again, another perfect opportunity to aggress him. I'm going to probably run up, so I stun, it looks like. Run up, snare into a sand trooper, and then I notice he spawns tank behind, so I'm going to counter with the Bladesman. I also, it looks like I've run nerve gas. The nerve gas is probably unnecessary.
So
this is a really good spot right here for me to counter push in. I just killed him. I know he's going to be on cooldown for 5 to 6 seconds. I have Bladesman up, I have troopers up, and I have a sand trooper in the back to protect them with AoE. This is a perfect time to push. However, I try and get out of tank range, and I just don't go quite far enough there. I take an extra shot, end up dying. My units still push in and almost take the turret anyway, so I think, yeah, it's just a sliver of health left on the turret.
I almost took it there.
All right. Now, I was dilly-dallying a little too long there to check map for that turret. I honestly shouldn't have looked at that. I should have been seeing that he's going to push again, and I should have spawned this Probe Droid in earlier, because if you don't spawn Probe Droid in before the units aggro onto your turret, they're just going to stay locked on turret. So that was kind of a waste right there.
Damn, I didn't get my shot. So if I would have landed that
Sand troopers in there and probe droid, so I know these units are going to get cleared out, and so I go aggressive again. I'm constantly applying pressure to Cassian anytime that he's in a position where I can do damage to him, because that's how you win against a Cassian. You pull him out of position, you go aggressive. Cassian cannot outdamage you in a 1-to-1. Even if you have the same amount of units, he can't outdamage you. He has such a slow attack. Any leader in the game is going to be able to kill him. The only way he kills you is if he's able to sit back in the safety of his range and, just attack you. So I stun, that nerve gas again was unnecessary. I don't know what I was doing there. And here's where he makes a huge mistake.
All right, so
I don't know what.
Is he going to die right here? He just blew himself up. Oh my god, okay,
he shoots the probe droid, blows himself up. In my state of laughter, I make a huge mistake here. Okay, he just killed himself. Whether he was trying to reset his health or what, or whether he just didn't know probe droids exploded, he just killed himself. I just spawned. I have another 6 seconds or so to push. Right here, I should have laid ATST down on the right side, because that turret on the left is such low health that I could lay anything down and it would have died. I could have laid those stormtroopers down, it would have died. I could have laid the bladesmen. Probably even the probe droid would have killed that turret right there. Instead, I drop ATST on the left, which is a huge mistake. So I know that's going down, so now I have to...
I'm making so many mistakes.
Yeah, I just made a mistake. I recognize that I make that mistake, though, and now I'm going to adjust. So I know I wasted that 7 energy on the left. Now I'm going to drop probe droid to try and tank this turret, and then I'm going to drop some
I should have played that.
So because he is focused on there, over there on that left side, I am able to come into this turret and do decent damage on it, take 3/4 of it or so.
Just be on right lane, and then I should have...
And then, okay, so now here's his next push. Now he's in a really good position here. He has units pushing on the left that I have to deal with, and he has energy advantage right now, so he's able to push on right. He has a tank. He has all sorts of stuff up there. I'm really slow to respond to this. It looks like right here I do a tap stun, which is really bad. Usually you want to drag stun, because the tap stun ends up stunning the closest unit to me, and it misses Cassian. So you notice Cassian doesn't even get stunned here. He's able to just sit here and poke at me. And all this time there's a bunch of stuff going on up top, and it's going to kill my turret up there. So I'm in a really bad spot here. I have to retreat. Basically, I've took way too much damage, and right now I want to heal so that I can come back to Cassian. But the problem is I put myself in such a bad position that I can't even go grab the health, because the tank's coming up and stuff. So I try and lay bladesman on it. I do end up clearing this stuff right here, but it was really bad play. He's in a pretty good position right here. The only thing that saves me at this point right here is I see all that red stuff over on the right, and I'm able to quickly drag and put my probe droid down, which distracts all these units enough to basically not have them push my power into it. Okay. Here's another example. I'm pushing here. I see the swarm. That's the swarm. Again, the rebels like to swarm. My probe droid's down. I know it's going to blow up and counter all those units. So now I know right now it's 5 or 6 on 2, right? But I know that in just a second it's going to be 1-on-1 with me and Cassian there. So I drop nerve gas to slow him down so he doesn't get away. I come up here. The stun was unnecessary. I could have snared there, but and that was unnecessary too. A lot of mistakes. But at this point, I pretty much know I've won, because I've killed him, and that turret's low. The right turret's low, so I know all I have to do here is clear this and then push with my stormtroopers. Okay, that's all I have to do right here. Push, and I win. Now, what I make the mistake here is that I'm trying to drop stormtroopers right here, right at the bridge. Instead, I drag up too far, and they end up spawning all the way up in mid. That's a horrible spawn, because now only one stormtrooper
so
runs.
Many mistakes.
They don't end up tanking the turret at all. I have to kind of rush in here. I die, and Sandtrooper's going to get a shot, and I think Sandtrooper's going to get it, but look at that. Sliver of health.
Oh my god!
So freak out a little bit, but it's okay, because, I mean, at this point, I've seen players make mistakes here. They see all this unit stuff, and they're like, oh... I have to counter this. You honestly don't. You can just run past and do it. But So that's what I end up doing. Is even though he's going to win right here because his push, his tank, and his drop pod are going to kill my turret, I just run in and pop the last little bit damage. I also dropped stun on the turret, which was a mistake. I think ion mines do damage to turrets, but stuns do not. So keep that in mind. That was the first match. He had slight card advantage. He had a level 2 Cassian, level 3 tank. But his commons were all about the same level as mine, and he had a 1 player level advantage, I believe. This next match is maybe a little bit more interesting one. It's against a Sabine, who's a really strong character in the game. And this is pre-nerf, so she has a 25% bonus. She just got nerfed down to 20%. So all of her grenade explosive damage units do an extra 25% damage. Now, usually in a game like this, I'm going to start with a Pro Droid spawn in the back or Sand Trooper, both good starting options. Instead, she just goes crazy at the start. She just decides that she wants to go all in from the get-go. I don't know if, a lot of new players, this is how they learn to play. And again, I said Rebels cater to newer player. She just spent a ton of energy trying to push right here at the start. Okay, so I'm laying a Sand Trooper in the back to get some AoE damage on the units, and I also put Pro Droid all the way in the back. Now you'll notice where I put Pro Droid. It's to turn the Marauders backwards.
Bad play. He just literally gives me.
And kind of, you want to spawn it basically right on the ranged units as the melee units are running by, so you explode on everything. Right here, Sabine tries to go aggressive on the and kill the Sand Trooper, which is a decent play, but she overextends a little bit too much. She's got herself in a really vulnerable position right here. So I know if I can just land the stun, she's dead. And I'm able to do that. I have Bladesman coming in. I know she's going to die right here. And she ends up dying in a perfect position. She just died. I know I have 5 seconds to push this turret, and I've just cleared the entire wave. Right here, I have people ask me all the time, when is the best time to die? The best time to die or suicide a turret is when the opponent cannot make a counter push. So right now, I know if I was to suicide, my opponent can't make a counter push. So I should have ran in and actually aggro turret. I make a mistake. I do it too late, and so my Bladesmen actually take aggro.
I probably should have gone in there and died.
So I should have just suicided it, because my Bladesmen are going to do way more damage to this turret than I'm going to do. Bossk is one of the weakest, DPS-wise, Bossk is the weakest Empire leader in the game. So I really should have just gone in there, tanked some hits, and let my Bladesmen go up and do the damage against this turret, which is a level 10 turret, so he's two player levels above me. Because I make this mistake, I decide to go for the health steal, but I make another mistake right after.
Oh my god.
I don't hit the health. Finally do, but because I delayed so long, he gets a turret shot on me and a tank shot on me, and
the noob-ness is just...
So, like, I literally go to steal her health, and I end up leaving with less health than I ran in there with. So that could have been an awesome counter push.
I did only get
making a ton of mistakes
4 hours
right
anyways last night because
oh my god. And basically I'm making excuses right here for why I'm such a noob. I just missed that nerve gas. Oh my god. I'm trying to slow down JMK here, and I completely whiffed the nerve gas. Did I say that this was my gameplay? This was a viewer submitted gameplay. I really got to thank the viewer that was watching sent this gameplay into me. Such a joke. I just make so many mistakes here. Yeah.
Okay. At least.
Well, anyways, I do make a lot of mistakes, but I have a decent setup against AoE. So. Her best play right here is going to be honestly running in. Oh, she just used her special. She wasted her special. Oh, she's going all slow. Oh no.
Okay.
At least maybe I stunned her out of her special. I'm not sure. Anyways, I die, able to counter with Bladesman, and then.
So what I was saying is I wanted to tank the tower.
I don't get much damage on it though. In fact, I probably should have just autoed it a couple times and then ran. I stayed too
not this
long,
death, because
and she's able to
the last
special me
time I won
and
the
take
kill.
like a huge chunk of my health.
Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty much dead right here, and I take a turret hit. So I
Bad
stayed.
spot.
I overstayed my welcome right there and make a big mistake. Now I'm in such a really awkward position right here. If I stay here, she's going to kill me, guaranteed, and she's going to take turret. So I have to go heal. So I run off heal and leave my probe droid there, which is going to buy me a little bit of time.
This is a lot harder.
And then I try and drop Sand Trooper right here, but I drop Nerve Gas. Did I say that I was in Kyber? Did I say that I was rank 1? No, that's not me. I'm Duracrete, rank 2. Or I have a rating of 60. Duracrete. The mistakes were real in this game.
I meant to drop.
But anyways, she has a huge push going on here. She pretty much, she should have probably stuck with that. I'm not sure why she backed up. I mean, she had me in a really awkward. She could have aggressed me, maybe killed me. But she chooses to retreat and then waste more energy with the Marauders. If she was going to run Marauders, she should have used them with all the other things. So
I meant to drop Sand Trooper down.
But yeah. Here's her biggest mistake of the game, and this is what wins me the game, is right here. I go aggressive on her, which is fine. I drop Bladesman. I know I'm going to be able to kill her right here. In response to her getting stunned, she panics, and she casts special, and then she drops in a tank. Now, that was the absolute worst time she could have dropped this tank. The tank is a level 6 tank. I have level 2 epics. This tank would rip through my base if she spawned it at a place where it could get damage on turret. Instead, she literally spawns at the worst possible time into my troopers, into my bladesmen. It just gets melted right there.
Played that tank right into my bladesman. So this is a great. She's wasted.
And so I know she's wasted that energy, and I know that I have really
I was
strong
trying to
units
tank
coming
her
down.
again. All right, I'm gonna play Sand Trooper all the way.
Now at this point, what I'm doing here is I'm laying Sand Trooper all at the back because I'm gonna suicide here. So I got my damage that I wanted. I know I'm gonna take this turret, and I end up.
How did that?
Oh yeah, I get all mad here.
That turret not good. Sometimes I hate this game. Sometimes I hate it. Like really.
Now I'm raging because I'm a noob at this game. Somehow that turret didn't die. But I did lay Sand Trooper here, and I noticed that as she's being aggressive, my tower has enough health that I can probably save it. So that's why I try and do it. I run Snare into stun, and I stop all the aggression on my turret. So right now I know it's pretty much saved, unless she has a long range unit, but she doesn't. So I lay Bladesman, and then bam. So that's cleared. That's pretty much the best case scenario in that right here.
Some bullshit.
Now I lay Stormtroopers. I know the Stormtroopers are going to take care of that turret. So now I'm going to press the left side while she goes to deal with the right side. And I know that even if she pushes past to kill that turret, I would much rather her go and trade and equalize turrets and me come up here, because I'm going to be able to, basically if I'm trading turret damage, I would much rather give away a 10% health turret and do 50%. Because, like, the truth of the matter is, if I tried to stay there and defend against this, I would have lost. Because she would have pushed in, she would have taken this. Instead, I go left side, and you notice here that I'm able to take 50% of the turret health, pretty much myself.
That tower now?
And then the ATST is going to clean up the rest. So now I'm going to retreat, and I'm going to stop her from pushing. Her only chance to win at this point, because there's only 20 seconds left, is to push to win. But instead, she goes back. Again, it's just, probably new player mistakes. She goes back. She should have tried to push to win with her tank right here. She doesn't. Lets me get 3 bladesmen down.
Take a little bit of damage here.
Lets me take, do a bunch of damage. And at this point, it's pretty much won. 7 seconds left. I know all I have to do is stop these units, and I have a snare and a stun to do it. So that's it. And that's the game right there. So I want to show you guys the player level advantage right here. After all those mistakes, look at this. Card advantage. So she's 2 players levels above me. She has a level 2 leader, level 2 unique, a level 6 tank. That's what honestly should have just torn me apart. I only have level 2 epics. Her, she's got like a 1 to 2 level advantage on commons and level 8 honor guards too. That's pretty high. So in all regards, she should have won this game. She had stronger player level, stronger advantage. She had the stronger units. It's just she made a couple really bad plays. I made a ton of mistakes too, but I guess what I wanted to showcase here in this gameplay is even when you make mistakes, as long as you monopolize the enemy's mistakes, you're not always going to win games like that. You know what I mean? Like if I would have played like this, at lower ratings, you can get away with more mistakes. Like if I was to play like this on my main account in Kyber, I would have gotten wrecked. Even with card advantage on my main, I would have gotten wrecked, absolutely destroyed. So I'm actually, next video, I'm going to post some gameplays from my main account, probably Thrawn gameplays, where I make a lot less mistakes, I play a lot better, and I want to showcase some more Empire gameplay. The thing is, people just need to understand with Empire, if you're not understanding how to play Empire, it's a different way of thinking. Counter the rebel push with as little energy as possible, gain energy advantage, and then aggress the enemy turrets with an ATST. If you don't have ATST or if it's not leveled up, you can use light vehicle. Light vehicle lets you still do a power play with light vehicle plus sand trooper plus stormtroopers. That's a 10-point play. The only issue with the light vehicle push is that light vehicle gets distracted by the swarms. So if your enemy plays marauders and rebel troopers, the light vehicle is just going to sit there and target every single one of those units and just get distracted for the entire time it's alive. Whereas at ATST is just going to walk straight to the turret and do turret damage. The only thing that distracts an ATST is a turret card, and most turret cards are a waste in most decks unless you're like running Bodhi or something. So again, you basically, the AT in my opinion is the superior card to run, and when you lay your AT, you want to then defend it. Now, one thing of note in here, the nerve gas. Nerve gas, the only reason I was running that is because Cassian and Gigaran Rebel, this is pre-nerf, they are pretty OP, and so nerve gas kind of countered them. Not really, but it slowed them down enough to where I could react. And so now with those nerfs happening, I would probably run something else here, like an AoE card. TIE Fighter is a really good card. It's now 3 energy, so that's a good option for that spot. You could also run something like Jump Troopers if you wanted more units. You could run something like a Dioxis Grenade would be okay there. Or if you have Bossk is unique, IG-88 would be great here too. You don't have to run Bossk either. Like this deck right here is great for pretty much any Empire player. Any Empire leader is going to be able to run that deck minus the nerve gas. And sometimes you don't need stun if you're not a pressure leader. So you could swap out those 2 cards for something else that fits your preference. But that's pretty much how you play Empire. Again, counter the swarms, push in with your aggressive push when they're down, and personally, I don't think Empire is underpowered. In fact, I think it's the stronger faction now. And I'll be posting more gameplays for you guys. If you have any decks you want me to see me play, comment below, and I'll try and get those in. Anyways, guys, Malo, aupito, thanks for watching, and peace. I'm out of here.